Low impact and toning. Let's just get those feet moving side to side. We're going to warm up our body, get our heart rate up just a little bit. My goal would be for us to do 15 to 20 minutes of just leg pattern work, some arm punches, little leg kicks. I want you to feel like your heart rate gets up and that we challenge your, I'll call it the brain teasers a little bit with some pattern footwork. Okay. So to waste no time, we can put directions, different angles into our step touch. And this is something that we normally stay with 4 count forward walk, single step touch, double step touch, grapevine, right? I want you to think of the letter V, and I want you to take that letter, turn it on its side. So that would be the greater than or the less than sign. Okay. And so now going, okay, right? You are going to trace the lines forward together, back angle together, forward together, doesn't matter which side you started on, back angle. Our ability to transition into just getting out of this, we're still linear, right? Doing a linear position. We just have a nice smooth transition without skipping a beat. So just a little variety for today. That's it. 4 more. Belly in tight. You do not have to take giant steps. The less warmed up your body feels, shorten up your stride a little bit. Go back to your basic step touch. And then you're going to look at the other side, check out that angle, step into the front corner, step to the back corner, right? You've got to close the middle step in order to transition. And now that you're like, oh, that's not so bad. My knees feel okay. I'm not doing anything funky, crazy. It's totally a controllable step. Here we go. You've got 4 more. I'm pretty lucky because I got these little patterns on my carpet. They're like little bullseyes. Each block of carpet, right? Each little square has its little center patch. Give me 2 more. On your back end step, you're going to go back to your basic step touch, right? So if for that moment when the leg pulls apart, right? It happens so fast that you're not even thinking about your legs moving apart. You're thinking about your legs coming together. But there's a moment where both legs are apart. You're going to hold that open position and go into ticker tocks. Now, squeeze the buns. You're not going to stay in tick-tock for much of this. We're going to transition from tick-tock into a little bit of adductor work, okay? When we go into the adductor work, it's going to recruit balance skill. So if you're already going, I don't want to work that hard, then you're going to find your wall, a chair, the back of your sofa, a counter edge, something where you can take some of the challenge out and do the leg move. Standing on one leg. Turn the other leg so that the heel swivels forward. And now that leg is going to move in front of your stance leg. So your hips may have rotated a little bit, and I want you to bring the hips back around to the front, right? If you do not need your sweep leg to hit the floor as it opens back up, then keep the toe pointed, stroke with the ankle in. And if I had something that was a structure coming off the front of this leg out in front of me, I would be trying to connect my heel into that structure. Pull. 4 more. Buns are tight. What is required of you to stand with good command is knee extension and glute activation, right? So we're not weak. You could do it with the bent leg, but you will find that if you stand tall, it helps you pelvic tilt and draw your abs in. Now it's in forward push, and you're just, maybe you can scan down, look at your leg. Is it truly tracking in front of the other one? Because if it's here, you're still getting that muscle work, but it becomes harder if you move it across the body. Ooh, and harder stabilization too. Now pause, it's in the up, push it that way. So your own leg now becomes extra resistance, push, push, 5, 4, 3, 2, marching feet. You wipe the slate clean. We're going to get back into our step touches. We're going to put our angle steps back in there, and then we'll switch to the other leg. Step touch. Let's say we're going to do 8, right? Easy number. That's 3. You can knock out 8 really quick. Your joints, elbows, knees, ankles, feet, everything's getting to like be a little spring. I'm going to start with the angle that I ended with on the last time. So I'm stepping up, front corner, think back corner, right? Front corner, back corner. That's 2 of 8, 3. Maybe this is just too basic and you want to pull a knee, right? You can do it. You don't have to. But if you feel like you're doing too basic, boring workout, just sidestepping, pull your knee up there. You got about 2 more. Pull it up. 1 more on the back step. Step touch side to side, right? Because we're in transition mode. Look at the other side. You're going to be moving into the front corner of your step, right? Take it to the back corner. There it is. The greater your step, you get to change the direction that the hips go. It allows you to go, oh, I can really muscle into this. If your knees are soft, it gives you some extra like push action. Your knees are like your springs, okay? So you can be as kind of calm, cool, and collected, or you can be like, my body's fired up and ready to go. My endorphins, energy level, maybe you want the knee up there. Bam, right? You're like, no, I don't want to add my knee. Then don't. 4 more, 4. And 3, because it's a long count. 2, come up, step, touch side to side. Tell yourself, ticker talks, right? So we're getting abduction. And then you're going to prepare your mind. Which leg do you need to stop your stance on, right? Okay. Do you need to move yourself to your wall or your chair? Let the leg rotate. Try not to torque the knee. We want to try to square the hips and sweep the other leg out. So this is, just stay with me for a second on this because it's a feel thing. When you roll this knee out, I also want you to try to roll the other knee out so that the knee doesn't end up collapsing. That's control, right? Roll your weight to the outside edge of your stance foot, squeeze the derriere, square your hips and shoulders the best you can. You should feel like your buns are tight. If you did nothing more than just hold your stance here and try to keep pelvic tilting, you would have a significant amount of muscle work. If you can do more, you're going to take your leg. This imaginary structure is off the front stance leg. Make the leg sweep forward. Do you need to re-stabilize every time and let the foot hit the floor so that you can regain control? Or can you sweep the leg out, stick the extension, and cross? Push, pull, push, pull. The push allows you to go, oh, fire up my glute as the leg is coming back instead of just letting it float back. We want action, adductor on the lift and glute on the back. Adductor, glute, abs, shoulder blades are engaged. Push. Take it to your forward push. Give me little lifts. Maybe you're using your arms. Maybe your body is going, I'm fighting for the balance. I don't know. Squeeze your parts. Now, hold the leg. Your stance leg becomes this resistance right here where the leg mass meets. Is you're now using your leg as your resistance. Push into it. These are exercises that can be done on the floor, Sometimes we do it, but by the end of class, I often forget to put these little leg pushes in here, and they're so effective and much harder this way. 5, 4, 3, 2, release. The standing leg bun, maybe that had a little work, right? So walk yourself out. If you happen to have your ball handy, because I forgot to tell you, go get your ball out of your closet. We're going to add our ball in and do our marching legs and our little dribbles. Okay. So with your ball, I used to train at a club that was it had 30,000 square feet. It was a huge club. And originally it was a racquetball facility. So, long hallway, racquetball courts, off this long hallway. And I used to spend client sessions, entire sessions in the hallway, doing all kinds of, even before the term mobility, right, came out, and the attention towards coordination was a huge factor. I was already doing things like this with my clients 20 odd years ago. So we would take this hallway, right? And though we don't have a hallway, probably, you have however much space you have. And I want you to work this ball to the front. Try not to hit it. Switch hands, okay? If you find that your body, like my ball is really springy, I barely have to touch it and it comes back up, but not everybody's ball has the same bounce action. And if you find that your torso is forward, stand up, make your arm push firmer into the ball so it comes back up with your body staying in a full rise. Work the ball to the other side. So I want you to scoot yourself forward, come a little forward. All right, back it up. If you can take 4 steps, great, right? Go forward. 4, 3, 2, back it up. I find that giving you a step count forward is really helpful, okay? Because it makes you go, oh, put the brakes on, right? The step count could be 5. It could be 7. 4 is not a magic number. It's just our number that I picked today. Forward walk. 1, 2, 3, and back. 4, 3, 2, and forward. Now, when you get back, take the ball to the other side. 4, 3, 2, and back. Uh-oh. Yeah, we might need to add more counts in here. Do you see what's happening? All right, here you go. You are trying to switch hands. And this might seem quite remedial. If you're like going, Jan, what's the challenge about this? Some people are very challenged moving an object around their body and maintaining a rhythm and not having to, like, the ball gets out from your hand. Like, how can this big ball, okay, pause, take the ball to the other side, take the ball to the other side. If you do have good eye-hand coordination, when we do pattern work like this, sometimes it's hard to believe that there are people that really struggle with controlling an object and their body at the same time, right? So here we go. You got 2 more. Push side to side. Last one. And now hold the ball. We're going to use the ball. Big twist. Pull it around. We're not done with our ball bouncing work. Just giving ourselves a little break. If your shoulders are crabby, pull the ball into you. Hold it nice and snug without your shoulders gobbling up your neck, right? You can push the shoulders down. You can lower the ball, tug it in nice and tight. It will offload the shoulder work and still make you feel like you're doing a little bit more than just swiveling the hips. If everything feels good, I want you to take that ball up, big swivel. So as we move the ball up and around our body, we need a little more time to complete our movement than someone just doing this. So if you're here and you find that I'm moving slower than you, it's because I need the time. So you take as much time as you need to get around. Does your ball have to go all the way up over the top of your head? If your shoulders permit it, get it up there, right? You find the angle that is not creating a pain pattern, and that's your range of motion. Now, you know, it's a building movement. So if my legs are too close together, when I come into the squat, my leg angles, like they don't look right. But if your legs are far enough apart, right, when you squat, it will resemble a lunge. Your lunge is one of those movements that you have to decide, I can or can't. Maybe you can swivel up, post yourself high off the heel of the back foot, and then you just lower the ball without going into the squat because your knees, hips, whatever, don't want to do this. Pull it down. So as I'm taking the ball up and down, the ball is actually traveling to the outside hip of that front leg. Up, 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 swivel, squeeze the bun, down you go. The ball comes to the outside hip. Back is straight. Swivel. Maybe your knee only lets you gently bend it. This is the thing. You get to keep trying to explore what is your body going to do for you today. 2 more. Sweep. Inhale up. This is your last one. Bring it up. Now, shake it out. Move your feet a little faster. That means the ball is bouncing a little faster. Okay. I'm going to turn to the side. Okay. And I'm going to go into alternating hand. You can move your feet as fast or as slow and take it back. I am going to try to get you into a very specific hand to foot connection to the ball, but that's going to happen when we slow down. Okay, push, 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 bring it back. And now, step touch. Just keep step touching in one direction, 4 steps. Can you, when you step the leg out, bounce the ball with the opposite hand? I stop that because, like, if it's not a natural thing, you might have to hold the ball for a minute, take the leg that you're getting ready to move and go, okay, which hand actually needs to bounce the ball? Opposite hand to foot. Once you establish that pattern, right, you're going to try to make sure that when you transition back and forth, that you don't lose that pattern. It's not a wrong pattern if you have the same hand and leg. It's just not what I want you to do. Try to exaggerate opposite hand to leg. Push, pull, push, pull, push. So if you're really skilled and you want a little bit more of a challenge, I want you to keep bouncing the ball, but I want you to take your legs into a grapevine pattern. And you know the grapevine, step, back, step. Well, I shouldn't say that because what my legs just did, a grapevine pattern is 4 steps, okay? But if we're traveling more than 4 steps, the leg pattern is called karaoke, okay? So this is a walking crossover step. Step, back, cross the front. Step, back, cross the front. And I know I'm really close to you, but I'm trying to keep the ball from bouncing on the floor because it's so loud. Step, cross, step over the front, step, back. If you can't get the foot pattern of the karaoke with bouncing the ball, then you hold the ball and you go step, open, cross back, cross front, cross back, right? And you just keep changing. One of the things that I'm trying to get you all to do really smoothly is transition movement without feeling like you have to come to a complete stop and then start the pattern. Release and relax. You're done with your ball. So do you feel up to jump roping, hula hooping, modified jumping jacks, air squats? I don't know. I haven't done the jump rope for a while, so I'm going to jump rope. I want us to have 2, maybe 3 rounds of something that's a little bit more intense than marching feet. So if you're just going to stay in place and kind of like prance your legs and, you know, pump your arms, that could be your higher intensity work to get your heart rate up a little bit, right? If you really enjoyed the ball bouncing, or you felt like you need more skill work at the ball bouncing, then go for that, okay? So it's hard for me to count and talk, but we're already at 15. 30 seconds generally renders me with like 50 to 60 jumps when I'm not, you know, messing up. And the jump, there is no way for the jump to not be high impact movement. Like even a skilled roper, right? So here's another pattern, right? When both feet are off the floor at the same time, even though it's a nanosecond, that's considered a high impact movement. So if you have your jump rope, maybe you have your imaginary jump rope, and you're like, I can do the rocking horse. Do the rocking horse. Switch legs, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. That's 1 round. You're gonna walk it out. If you haven't gotten your heart rate up a little bit, where you feel like you need to kind of recover, then on the next round of something, I want you to work just a smidgen harder. We're gonna let our heart rate come down and take it back up in a minute. Arms are open, twist, open, twist. So we might as well get you working around your space, because all you really need to do is hear me. So right now, both arms are mirroring each other. Thumbs down, thumbs back, thumbs down, thumbs back. 1 thumb down, alternate. Now, the higher your hand is, perhaps the less comfortable it's going to be on the shoulder. You get to find your angle, but I want you to try to not have weak, bent arms. Push them out like someone's playing tug of war. Take your shoulders, get them out and away from your ears. Lower the arms enough so that when you twist the thumb down, you feel like you're getting a really nice stretch from the top of that anterior delt down the bicep tendon towards the elbow, okay? Push, pull. 10, 9, 8, 7. And also on your down rotating thumb hand, the stretch line should continue through that forearm position, right? I got myself mixed up. There we go. 5 more. 5. Right now, you just feel like your heart rate's coming back, everything's settling. You're ready to move into the next phase. Release and relax. So a modified jumping jack just has you doing from center position a tap out. Maybe if you don't want to do your imaginary jump rope, maybe you add arms and you just tap your legs out, right? If you're comfortable enough and you want to go into jack without the arms, hands on the hips, in. So again, this is another high impact move. Both legs are leaving the floor at the same time, but it doesn't have to be. You can be here, right? So I'm going to do 10 more, push. And as I go through the number, my movement is going to get greater. Push, pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, release, relax. Next move, fingers touching shoulders. Pull the elbows together. Move yourself around, stand up tall. You're letting your body come back into recovery mode. Pull, pull, belly tight. When your elbows draw in, just to give you a connection of drawing your abs in too. When you touch your elbows, that's when I want you to exhale. And as you exhale, pull in. When I watch people breathe as they're exercising, and I try to get them to engage their abdominal muscles, so often, hold your elbows together. I don't even know if I can do it. Okay, I'm going to try. When I'm working with somebody and I say, okay, you're going to inhale, pull your navel in. Did you? And then when you exhale, keep your navel in, draw the shoulders down, keep the navel in. Now, when you inhale, don't let this rise, okay? So blow the air out, inhale. If you had a mirror, you'd be able to watch yourself. Take the arms, forearms, side edges of the forearms are touching, which means you might have to get your arm up high enough to actually start that happening, okay? So now you're going to inhale, pull the navel through and exhale, draw the shoulders down. When you inhale, don't let your body pull up like this. You want to inhale, and the expansion of you inhaling is forward body, not chest lifting. It is really hard to break that. So your arms are here just to keep them out of your way. Your ability to touch the arms together is your muscle work right now. So just push them together. If you could stand next to a mirror, facing the mirror, right? Watching yourself, you're going to do 4 more breaths. So I want you to just get into your own head, your own space, right? Don't have to stare at the screen unless you want to. But as you inhale, I want you to feel your belly push out and then exhale and draw it in nice and deep. Try not to feel the lift up of the chest, okay? So inhale, let the belly push out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Such a different feeling of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release the arms. You have one more round of something. Do you want to be in jogging feet, modified jumping jacks, imaginary jump rope? I'm going to do more than my imaginary jump rope. I'm going to go back to the jump rope. I was watching this thing on, I don't even think it was TikTok. I think it's Reels. And so like this girl was like doing her jump, you know, and like it's to a really snazzy song. Sorry. I want to, in my defense, of my jump roping skill is I don't think it's actually my skill. I think it's the fact that the carpet has raised spots on it because I don't normally flub up like that. So anywho, so the girl is like jumping rope and it's like a 20-second thing and a really great song. And then like she's like doing this like little like dance thing with her feet. And I'm like watching her do this dance thing and like, you know, the arms and whatever. And I'm like, I jump rope like that. I need to do a reel, release and relax. And then, but I thought, I actually can't do a reel. It is not my thing. My sisters are like, you need to do funny things on TikTok and reels and Instagram. And I'm like, it's just not natural for me. Not that I don't have a sense of humor, but I'm not, maybe if someone else were running the video and I didn't know that I was being videoed, I might be able to pull something off. But yeah, no matter how much I try to wrap my brain around capturing some funny 20 or 30-second video of me doing something exercise related, that is what the youth are doing. I can identify, because I'm like, I can physically do that and I'm not 20. Okay, I'm putting my mat down. I am going to encourage you two things. Some of what we're going to do is going to be on our hands and knees. You're like, not for me, it's not, I'm not on my knees. If that's you, then you're going to bring your little chair into the equation, right? And if I'm going to show two versions, lightweight. Lightweight to me means 1, 2, 3 pounds. I'm going to use my 1.5 pounds. So if you are okay coming to hands and knees, start taking yourself there. If you are not going to get on your knees, you are going to stack your body so that your knees and feet are aligned, right? So that you wouldn't be here. Put your feet under you, and your chair is just a little prop for you to get into tricep kickback. If you're with me, again, you're stacked, knee and hip line, elbows chambered up. You don't just raise the arm up, you squeeze your upper middle back to get your S-curve spine. Now, seems too simple, right? Even from having chair support, it still seems too simple. So your elbow is tacked in next to your body, shoulders out of the ears, middle back is in contraction. Take your opposite leg. When your arm extends, push the leg back. If you're standing using your chair, your leg can bend and extend like this, or you can take your straight leg and raise it up and down, right? So you have to decide, do you want to hold your leg bent and push and pump if you're using your chair for support? Now, for us on our hands and knees, the leg that's your support system on the floor, have you cheated by digging those toes into the floor to help you stabilize? Flatten the top of that foot out. Look straight down now. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, other side. You can start right off with the arm and leg extended, right? We don't want the knee to be soft. Push and commit. Take the flat other foot, push it down to the floor, tuck and press, squeeze. When I watch people do this little hip extension work, there's a reason why I'm incorporating an arm movement with the leg movement. Is sometimes the leg kind of power pushes and the foot goes so high that it collapses the back, and then you never get the knee actually to full extension. So I want you to drive that leg straight back like you're pushing your heel through the wall. And then when you do that, make sure that your other foot is resting nice and flat, shoulders out of the ears. You got 4 more. 4, 3, pull your belly button up. 2, last one. Release and relax. Get off your hand, come up, step out of that. Grab your heavier weights. Your heavier weights could be anything. 3s, 5s, 6s, 8s, 10s, you decide. I want the weight suitable for compound muscle work. There's a term. What does that mean? That means you can't pick a weight that only your legs can handle. You have to pick a weight that your biceps can handle, right? That your shoulders can handle. Maybe you're like, I've got a bum shoulder. You can still hold the weight. So, you know, I've said again and again and again that what plagues one joint generally is not in both joints at the same time. So if you happen to have a bum shoulder, you can probably still do single side bicep curl and shoulder press, right? Maybe it's only the shoulder press that you have to leave out, but you can do both arms bicep. I don't know. Compound muscle work, deadlift. Set yourself up hip width apart. If you're standing looking at your screen like this, and you're going to try to keep eyes on me going, what's she doing? I need for you to turn to the side. And you're going to view the screen from a side position because that's going to keep your neck where it needs to be. So what's your middle body doing? Pull the navel through, tighten up your buns, right? Soften your knees a little bit. The ribs pull down. The body hinges forward without you rounding. This is really important. And maybe you need to put your knuckles on your legs to help get the spine to figure out its job before you let the weight hang, okay? Stand up, squeeze your parts. If every time you hinge forward, you can identify that you're rounding your back, what that tells me is your hamstrings are probably so tight that you need to bend your legs more because that's what's going to help you push your derriere back like you're doing a squat. And now as your body is starting to figure out what its job is, if you can keep the knuckles kind of dragging down the fronts of the legs, just past the knee line, how deep can you go? That's not what we're trying to figure out today. You're trying to determine how flat can you keep your spine without your head and neck doing the wrong thing. So look down at the floor, right? Do you feel this muscle in the back of the thigh? I hope you do. You should not feel your back. It should be leg driven. Suck the belly up, pull yourself up, stand tall, bicep curl, release the curl. The weights float to the front of the thighs. Look down. Knuckles are dragging along the legs. Maybe you stop just above the knee. If you can go to about mid shin and then make sure that your back is still flat. Right? Pull yourself up, squeeze your buns, pull the arms back to the side body, and then bicep curl. You're adding on. Give yourself a shoulder press. Did you try it with one arm or did you go both arms? Right? Pull it down, extend the arms. The arms start at mid-thigh. You initiate your movement by softening your knees, letting the hands sweep to the fronts of the thighs, drag the knuckles down the fronts of the legs. Figure out, do you need to stop short of mid-shin? Do you need to bend your legs more so your back isn't rounded? If you want to explore space, you would do it from a squat and you would try to just barely extend the legs a little bit more and then let your upper body weight kind of pull forward towards the midfoot. And that is when you will feel the belly of what's called the thigh bicep. Pull yourself up, squeeze your parts, hammer curl, shoulder press, draw it down. Hinge, look down, explore. Do you need to bend your legs more to make you feel like you're in a flat back? Or extend the legs. You can straighten your legs as much as you want to, so long as you can keep the correct spine position. Pull yourself up, squeeze, hammer curl, shoulder press, push. One more. Knuckles slide to the fronts of the thighs. Start looking down. Look at your feet. Look at your knees. Look at the dumbbells. Bend your legs. Take it like you're doing a squat because you're going to stop. And then you're going to re-straighten your legs until you feel the back of your thigh fire up. Lean forward a little bit. Ooh, pull up. Hammer curl, shoulder press, and you're done with these. Bring it down and down. Release and relax. Set your dumbbells down. 2 options. Some of us are going to go to the floor because we're going to be on hands and knees. Some of you will need, we'll say the chair, but it could be the back of your sofa, right? It could even be a wall. If you don't want to be on your knees, right? There are plenty of ways to do modified pushes so that you're not straining, but that you're still engaging. Very much like having tight hip flexors and quads, we have tight front shoulders and pecs, okay? Tight muscles still need to be trained to load and hold and be supportive. We know we need to stretch tight muscles, but we still have to strengthen them. So I don't spend a whole bunch of time giving, full body push-ups and whatnot, but I do try to teach you how to do some push movement in good form. So I'm going to come down to my hands and knees, but I want to show you, if you're using your chair, roll your elbows in towards the body. You're going to be up on your tiptoes, and you get close enough to your chair so that your chair edge or your countertop or your sofa, your guide is when your body's forward, you want whatever you're pressing into to come to about mid chest. If your feet are too far back, then your arms are going to do the wrong thing, and you'll end up with your object coming to your clavicles, and your neck will be all wrong. So you're standing high. If your hands allow you a wider set position, that will make it easier. With the close set position, it's more tricep. So you pick, okay? And now if you're on the floor with me, okay, hands and knees. This is not what you think it is. Push back, glide into it. Push back. You get to come out of the position so you're not doing one repetition after another. You're allowing yourself to drive back, even if your drive back just has your butt high and you're reaching your arms, okay? So into it and out of it. What if you come into it and you get down, but then it's really hard for you to get out of it? Then you lean to the side and you reset and you help yourself, right? And I know that looks funny. I'm going to do it again. If I get down and I can't get up, then I'm going to alternate leaning to the side to offset the weight, and it doesn't look pretty, right? I'm going to do it again. Lean to the other side. Use your leg, use your arm, push out of it. We have to teach strength from all different angles. Lean to the side, push. All right, do one more. Come in, come out. Release, relax. Okay, for those of you that are down on the mat, you're going to stay down, right? I'm going to just move my chair out of my space. If you were using your chair, come down to your back. All right. Maybe you want your towel. I don't know. There's I love having a little something between my skin touching my mat. So 9 times out of 10, I will put my towel down. Do you need your pillow? I'm just going to roll up my little ponytail here. Your head is not going to be leaving the floor. Your arms, however, are going to find some angle where you're not straining the shoulder. The goal is for you to get opposite arm and leg to touch. Now, I'm starting with a very slack form because this is generally what most people do. Okay. All right. So if your leg, or I should say, as your leg comes up, you're going to try to straighten the leg. And now when you reach the arm, it's not about the hand getting to the knee. It's about you keeping this leg as straight as you can while the other leg is fully active, pushing to the floor. That is your new goal. How tight can you keep your knee? Stretch, switch. So here we go. Your eyes are looking forward. You're actually looking at your leg. Feel what the down leg is doing. Firmly push it down. Pull your belly in. You've got no arch in your back. Now lengthen the leg. Even if the leg is at a forward angle, I still want it straight. The leg does not have to be vertical because maybe that's just too much for your hamstring. Okay, switch. Here we go. So I'm going to stop talking. I want you to engage tension through the quads. Exhale up. Inhale back. Exhale up. Four more. Last one. Bend your leg, pull it in, roll it across you. Nice, gentle little back stretch right there. Hopefully, you were surprised, switch sides, if when you raised your leg up, you felt like that front thigh was just firing up, almost like Charlie horse cramping on you. That was part of our quad strengthening while we're trying to engage our transverse abdominal muscles. Okay, come back to center. Pull the knees in for a moment. We are going to raise our head, kind of rock your body, get in there nice and tight. Maybe you don't have your hands over the knees. Maybe it feels better for you to put your hands behind the knees and separate your legs and kind of just do this little cradle rock. Once you get your hands where you want them, put your head back down. And we're just rocking. The rocking is going to be more than this. So we have very large muscles, internal and external obliques. And when we take our supporting arms out of the equation, right, and we have the leg, the heavy weight of our lower extremity providing the resistance, that's where this move is going to. So as soon as you can get your arms off your legs and the legs still maintaining that same angle that you just started with, that's really important. Sometimes when I watch people do this, their feet kind of stay up and they roll their knee. You want the entire weight of your lower body to roll in one direction. Pull it up. I don't want you to just drop the knees down. Roll it over, roll it over, roll it over. You don't have to hit the floor. And as a matter of fact, if you hit the floor, then consider it your back stretch. If you can stop just shy of touching the floor, you will then feel, oh, that's where my obliques are. And so now, inhale. When you roll, exhale, pulling the navel to you. And I'm going to give you the visual on what I want you to consider your muscle doing. If you've ever tried to wring water out of a towel or anything, okay? So think about this. Your abdominal muscle is the towel and it's soaking wet. And now as the legs roll to the side, your abdominal muscle, since the legs are twisting one way and your upper body's going the other way, that is like the wringing out of the towel. So this is the crucial part where your exhale As the leg gets closer to the floor, you're pulling your navel in, exhaling, trying to squeeze out the excess. And that, my friends, is when your phenomenal abdominals are fired up. Exhale, blow it out, navel to spine, go slow. Don't be in a rush to transition. Feel those muscles. Pull it up. One knee to chest. The other leg stretches out. Do a gentle rolling of the shoulders. How close can you get your forehead to your knee? Even if the other leg is arched up, that's okay, right? Switch legs. Your head off the floor can often seem like this heavy bowling ball is like attached to the shoulders, but if you will tuck your chin, you will protect yourself. Bring the head back down. All right, into bridge. If your towel is down, you might want to move it so that your feet can make contact with your mat, because what we're getting ready to go into is 6 reps. This is our last move of a fairly complicated bridge. You do not have to do any more. You don't even have to do the bridge, but if you're going here with me, I want you to start with bridge. And I want you to remind yourself what your neck's supposed to be doing, okay? Even if your head is turned, looking at the screen, just don't let the head float back, like don't strain, okay? So we're in basic bridge and you're just floating up and down. You're trying to not let the butt smack the floor. You want to lower down with the lumbar. Your butt isn't even going to touch the floor, I hope. Okay, so now clasp your hands. You are commanding your body to have strength. That's what I consider this arm position to be. And now from your bridge lift, I want you to roll, pick up your head, roll towards one shoulder, feel yourself kind of, teeter over there. And the leg that you are now rolling into, pick that foot up off the floor. And then straighten the arms, push the leg out, reach the arms, bridge the hips. The head is still off the floor. Pull the foot back nice and firm. Bring your body back to the middle. If you can keep from touching your butt down, roll to the other side. Chin is tucked. Roll, get over there. Take your feet, right? Push one leg away, lengthen the arms, lift your derriere, pelvic tilt. Pull the leg down, roll. I said we were going to do 6 bridges. This is what I considered our bridge. This is number 3. If your feet get further and further away from you, you're going to be very unstable. So pull your foundation columns back so that you can take that leg, push it. This is the hard part. Pull it back, roll it. If you need to stop in the middle and reposition, and rest your head. You've got 2 more, right? Take your breath when you need to. Push it out. Squeeze. Pull it back. Last one. Roll. Push. This is hard. Pull it back. Relax. Release. Press up. You're going to cobra. Cobra is what finishes us. All right. So cobra, there's a lot about cobra that I have come to realize. For anybody who struggles with back pain, it seems counterproductive to do cobra. Like it would seem like, why would cobra be a good move for back pain sufferers? And yet the aversion of cobra, right? If you're newly diagnosed and being treated for back pain, most back pain, you will be in modified cobra. What is it about cobra that is such a great thing for back pain sufferers? Well, look at what we're stretching, and I'll kind of angle myself a little bit here. You are getting your chest pulled up from the floor. We're trying to stretch this whole front body line, which we know for most people is too tight. So when we come into Cobra, let's not make the mistake of having our arm foundation being too narrow. Okay, so I spread my feet a little bit wider than, if I was in yoga class, they would generally come and tighten me up a little bit. It feels good to have my legs a little bit splayed, but yet my feet are not turned out. I am laying my legs flat, squared on the quad and flat. And I take my arms a little bit wider than what would be done in a yoga class. I have found that I personally need the extra space between my hands in order to fully control my lat and my shoulder depressors. Okay, so I encourage you to go a little bit wider with your elbows and hands, press the tops of your feet, squeeze the neck, or I should say, pull the shoulders down so your neck is long, and then push away from the floor. Now, your buns need to stay tight. Touch down. If that was pretty extreme for you, then don't go any further. If you feel like you can handle a little bit more, then you just pull your elbows back just a little bit so that when you push up, your load is more. And take it up. Neck is neutral. We are not looking up. Don't crimp the neck. The neck is free. What needs to happen is your wings, your elbows and your wings need to roll back and then elongate. Holding for 4, 3, 2, release, relax. Take your time, figure out how you're going to get up. Maybe you want to lay back on your back again. I don't know. Don't mind me. I'm going slow for a reason because I'm trying to not use my hands. Ta-da. Woo. Okay. Well, there you have it. Well, I don't even know what day it is. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day.